Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
We are Alyse
and John.
John. Yes, his name is John.
It was last time I checked.
It was last time I checked too.
Yeah, well, you know those biblical
2 out of
names,
2
they're
people.
easy to remember for those born in the Western Hemisphere.
Is Alyse biblical?
No.
Yeah. I did read the Bible several times when I was younger.
We got way off track fast, didn't we?
Well, we have like 20 years of inside jokes to work with, so...
Well, that's not what people are watching this for, I don't think.
Maybe?
Well,
Maybe
if
not.
you are, then you know who you are. Okay.
This is when we tell you every month what the heck has happened with the Austin real estate market.
It is the monthly Austin Hot or Not.
And I feel like we finally have some good news. Not as good for sellers, but the sellers have been disproportionately getting the good news lately. So
The news is relative. It depends on which end of the stick you're on.
exactly.
It can be good or bad.
It's nice to give buyers a
Depending on which side
hint
of
of
the
good
fence.
news for once.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we are going to kick this off by talking about all of Austin, anything
Yep.
with an Austin address, single family homes, townhomes, not condos. They
Yep.
aren't included in
Well,
this
they're kind
particular
of a
stat.
separate market.
They
label
are a
differently.
bit separate market, and but they do tailor or they're correlated to
Sure.
to how the townhome and single family home markets go. So
Okay,
yeah, let's do it.
let's get some numbers.
This is what's cool. All right, active homes that have an Austin address. How many active homes are there with Austin addresses, John?
658.
You know how happy that makes me feel
is.
to
It's gone
see that number?
up.
How much has it gone up since last month, John?
Let's see. It's gone up. I can't read that. I have my glasses
I
on.
know. Yeah, John needs glasses.
You didn't even make the number large enough.
I make the numbers bigger for John on this side, and so I shouldn't really ask him the percentage ones but it has gone up 39.1% since last month. Okay,
Month over month. Okay.
sure. Is it still down 62%
Year over year.
year over year? Yes. So like last year, it was at 1,738 for the month of April.
But like last year, that was like COVID time. It was like right
After
like the March.
And I would say that was the 1 month in 2020 where inventory went up just a little bit because everybody was all nervous to get things under contract.
Yeah.
Because we weren't even allowed to show homes for 2 weeks out of the previous
Well,
month.
I mean, this spring is looking like your standard recovery, right? In terms of like, hey, the numbers are going up month over month, which is good. The slope was all wonky.
Definitely.
But we are starting to go up, which is great. I'm happy to see new inventory. It's not a ton.
Yeah.
Right? 648 or 658 is not that many, but it's better than continuing to go down in March.
Definitely. And if you compare that to how many sales happened in all of Austin for the month of April, there were 995, which is actually up 28% from last year. So it's not like, oh, nobody's buying and it's down, or, and our inventory is going up because of that. It's literally because there are just more people listing. Thank
And month
heavens.
over month is up too, right?
Yeah.
So it's up 6% month over month. Is that right? Yeah, 6.3%.
Yeah.
And which is cool because like, hey, your sales are going up and your inventory is going up. So
Yeah.
like, hey, we've been typically seeing sales go up and inventory goes down. Sales goes up, inventory goes down.
Yeah, or vice versa.
So we're consuming inventory. So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it feels like maybe we're turning the corner a bit.
would
And so
make
now
me
maybe
so
we'll start to see
happy.
more listings, more sales.
Okay, sellers, don't get me wrong. I still want you to get a good deal, but I just don't
it's
want
still
it to be it's still super
super
biased
seller
towards
heavy, right?
sellers.
Super seller
But I
heavy.
just want it to be slightly less biased towards sellers.
But I mean, like, the cool thing is like the slope is changing. We're starting to level off. So we'll see where this goes. I mean, like, it's just a slight turn now.
Yeah.
Not enough data. But that's also what I love about real estate is it moves slow, at least relative to the stock.
Well, I have to say, a lot of people, that I know, and people that we get calls off our YouTube channel, and that we get through, every way that we know people. People are starting to come forward and say, "Hey, at the prices things are selling in my neighborhood, it's worth it for me to sell."
Yeah.
And so that, as much as I would like to keep everybody who has been in Austin in general, that may counterbalance a little bit this other 12 to 15,000 jobs that are coming into Austin in the near short-term future. That I was like, where are these houses going to come from? And yes, will they be at a higher price? And does that rule out some buyers? That makes me sad. But at least maybe there's houses and the prices don't just continue to shoot up at lightning rates.
Same thing's going to happen with every city that grows, right? It's like
Yeah.
in the core, you're going to get this big appreciation, and then people are just going to move to the suburb markets, right? Because there's more land out there, the houses are cheaper.
Or cheaper markets entirely.
Yeah, and then so they can cash out and then go move to a cheaper house that's bigger, what have you. So
Yeah.
even in Austin, like it's the same thing happens.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. And Austin has lagged behind most other major U.S. cities in pricing for quite some time.
Yeah.
And so it really is just catching up, but it's a little bit of painful growing pains.
So what is it doing to the pricing?
What does that do to prices?
Well, we've had a couple more sales and some more inventory, but pricing is it's still going up. Right?
Yeah, there's still, I mean, again, if you have 1,500 to 2,000 people who want to buy a home in a month and you only have 658 homes, where do prices have to go?
Yeah, so year over year, we're up 40%.
Yep, 41%.
Crazy. I mean,
and we're now at $635,000 for the median home price for Austin area. What does median home price mean? If you line them all up from smallest price of something sold to largest price of something sold, it'd be exactly the one in the middle.
Yep.
So,
and we're month over month, we're up 8.8%, in Austin. So a 40% gain in your property value is, still better than the stock market. Now I can only claim that for this year, right?
Yeah.
It always changes.
And
So it's
last
not
year.
like you can't apply this everywhere all the time. But still, if you had property in Austin for the last year, you should have done really well.
you should have done really well. And again, with all of that crazy amount of jobs coming into Austin, most of the think tanks who have a clue aren't guessing there's any sort of drop off anytime soon. But I would be super grateful for some more reasonable growth rates, other than this whole crazy 8.8% in a month.
Well, I mean,
right?
How many powers of 10 is crazy number?
Well, here's the thing. Normally, 1% a month would be considered incredibly fast growth, right? Appreciation per month, right? And we are down to only 8.8% growth in 1 month. And that is still, in my mind, obscene.
Yeah, it is.
Great for people who own. Not so fun for people who need to buy in, or teachers who want to buy near their house or any of that.
Maybe the dollar is losing value.
Also a possibility. I mean, we could definitely go into the 4 reasons that I think that Austin is appreciating at the current rate.
That rat hole.
That is a whole other video.
Another video.
You know what? We should do a video called "Why is Austin appreciating so fast?"
Yeah, okay, maybe later. Not now.
Like literally in like 20 minutes. Okay. So if we're just focusing on South Austin, what does South Austin mean to us? That's everything west of 35 and for this particular video, and south of 290-71. So 78745, 78748, 78749, and 78739.
Yeah, so it doesn't include 04.
Yeah, definitely.
No South Congress.
Which is like so cool.
Yeah,
so
that
cool.
would totally skew the numbers.
So cool, so cool.
So it's, the other South Austin numbers.
The other South Austin.
Again, it's all relative. Okay, so how many active listings do we have right now? And those 4 zip codes?
97 in 4 zip codes.
About 25 per zip code.
But it is up almost 26% since last month.
Right, which sounds big, which is like what, it went from like 70 to 90. Okay, so we had 20 more homes. I'll take it.
I will.
It's in the right direction, but still, like turning the corner, not a lot. I want to see that number higher still.
Definitely, it's down 45% from last year.
Yeah, year over year. But even still, last year that would be at like what, 130 or 140.
177.
Right?
Yeah.
And so if you're down to 97, like that's a big drop, but still like 200 actually isn't that much for those 4 zip codes.
No, it was low last year.
Yeah.
I remember being like, this is crazy low inventory last year.
Well,
That's
maybe,
so cute.
Maybe
Alyse.
we're headed back, right? So let's go. We'll
Please,
see.
let's head back to that.
Okay, so how many sales we got?
We have 207 sales for 97 homes available. Yes, I mean that's going to include things that came on the market and immediately came right back off the market. So actives is just things that are still sitting as of today. So that's why you're able to have more things that sold. Yeah, and that is up
year over year, 31%.
So despite the fact that we have a crazy low inventory, our number of sales is still up 31% from the same month last year.
No, yes, from the same month last year. Same month last month, or month over month, which is not the same month.
March is not the same as April.
No,
but
it's not. I did realize that just now.
It is close.
So that is up 7.8% month over month. So sales are increasing. But inventory is also increasing, so good sign. Hopefully this generally continues through till September, but school is all busted now because a lot of people are just staying home or they're doing different
I think a lot of
schooling
people are
situations.
planning on going back in the fall, especially if numbers continue to trend downward.
Yeah, so September should still be like the big cutoff. Everyone wants to be moved by then, right? Get everyone back into school.
I think that we might go back into a somewhat normal deal cycle starting this fall. Like things will somewhat get back to normal, especially if a bunch more inventory continues to come on, so that we have like a reasonable number of houses for people to look at to buy.
That would be cool. Well, we'll make this again in 2022 and we'll see.
Exactly. We'll see you next year.
Okay.
But
so
also between then too.
Pricing, always going up. I don't think we've ever made a video when pricing went down. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a first one day. But
one day?
I don't think it's going to happen this year.
I think once we did it, like went down 0.01 or 0.1% or something
flat,
like that,
basically.
because it was basically stayed flat.
And it was probably like a December or November or something.
Yeah, it was just month to month. Like it's never stayed flat year to year at all.
Okay, so year to year, what do we got in South Austin?
Okay, for South Austin, $575,000 for the median house price.
Well, hey, it's cheaper than 630.
Totally. So it is still cheaper to move into South Austin than it is to move in the general Austin area. I would like to point out,
as a pocket of all of Austin.
Yeah, it was like Southwest Austin wouldn't be more cheap than that.
That's true.
You know, Central
if you
South
scoot
Austin.
over just one more little zip code, then numbers change.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, 78749, if you compare this spring to last spring, 78749 was one of the top two most appreciated markets.
Well, that's because it's this cute little gym. It's like in the right spot.
And
it's
it has
perfect,
like
it's
all
close,
really nice schools.
right? People don't think about it. It's like, oh, wait a minute. That's actually a good spot.
Yeah, people really like living in Circle C area.
Okay, so year over year, pricing is up 45% in South Austin.
Almost 46, really.
Yeah. And then month over month, it's up 11.7, which shows like there's been more appreciation in South Austin than the city in general by 3 points.
Yeah, definitely. South Austin, I think people are waking up to how absolutely cool it is to live down here.
Yeah, well, it's just the wave, right? So the wave started like way back when, South Congress used to be like nasty, and then it got developed, and then everything got expensive, and then that just goes going further south.
Further
it's
and further
past
south.
71.
Yep.
And now it's north of Stastney, and then all that wave is going to cross Stastney.
Yeah.
And then just go past
just like
Cannon.
East Austin had this wave of cool moving further
all
and further
that's building
east.
up east and east, so
Heck yeah.
same thing. Yeah.
Heck yeah. So I would say the end conclusion of today is inventory's up just a little bit. I'm so excited.
It is. Inventory's going up.
A decent chunk. And that may just be because more people are listing because prices are higher, but I will take it.
Well, also, plus people I think are starting to look at those numbers and go like, that looks pretty juicy.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I mean, if you're getting 8% appreciation per month, that's pretty obscene, actually, if I was giving it a word.
Well, it wouldn't be obscene if you're in finance. It'd just be a good day.
It'd be a good day if you were in finance.
Love all you finance people. I'm not talking.
Anyway, we would love to wax poetic with you about what's going on in the Austin market and why things are appreciating and all that other jazz. Feel free to bend our ears sometime about it. We would love it. Also, if you know somebody who wants to buy or sell or invest or do any all that jazz, we would love to just get questions answered and be useful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks you guys
so
for
much
watching.
and we'll see you next month. Bye, y'all.